Hey everyone, my name's Corey and welcome back to another Minecraft video. In this video, you'll expect to see new custom find the button maps made by me and Sienna. If you guys like content like this, please consider dropping a like, subscribe, or even just a comment. You know, anything will help. These maps did take us ages to build, so any type of interaction is much appreciated, and we do love every single one of you that have subscribed, commented, literally done any positive thing for this channel. Like, we support and love every single one of you. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video, because I know you guys will actually like something like this. And if you do want more of this, please let us know and we will continue dropping more content like this. So this is the build that I built for Sienna for my Find the Button. I actually love this build and it did take me 5 hours. So here is a quick snippet of me like that kind of designing, mainly because I actually did miss recording the actual build, which I'm feeling about, but you know, we've got what we've got and it's in the past now, so you know, this is what I have. And if you want to see me doing the Find the Button on Sienna's side, you can go over to Sienna's channel and it's linked in my bio if you would like to go see that video. And let's get straight into Sienna's reaction to my build. So starting off, she turned around and saw my build and was instantly shocked. I once again love my build, and she, I think, actually somehow loved it more than me. She did explore quite a lot, but the first thing she did was go to the campfire, which was absolutely useless, but it was kind of just for more like a dramatic kind of like effect, you know, like it wasn't really there for anything special. It was just kind of more of a waste of time. Obviously I could have left it unlit, but the campfire made it so she would actually go over there and waste some more time. My only plan was to try and get her to waste more time on mine than I did on hers. I spent 20 minutes on hers and she spent 30 minutes on mine, so you know, I think I won that side. But you know, this is her actually going into the house. Thank God she got that over with. She then decided to play with every single fake button I had on the wall, which I did not appreciate because I did tell her that none of them were real. And obviously the wall is actually only 1 block thick, so she would be able to see the command block, but it's kind of whatever, and she did move on eventually. Anyway, this is the first room she entered. This is the potion room. It was very rushed, that's why I don't really like how it looks, but you know, she kind of wanted me to finish since I did spend 5 hours on it and she only spent like 2.5 on hers, so you know, I had to get it done. So this is kind of like a last minute shove in, but so she kind of did deep down inside know that it kind of was a phony room, but it doesn't matter, you know. But then she did actually go up into the first bedroom, the white room. There's a white, a light grey, a grey and a black room. They're all phony rooms. The bedrooms are literally a distraction, so you know, it's a bit of a waste of time. She did actually spot the pillagers, which she instantly regretted coming into the build because she said to me, what am I doing and why the hell are there villagers? But I told her that she's got to do it. So next she moved on to the attic. There are 4 attics in this build. All 4 are waste of spaces. They are all copy and pasted, which she didn't realize, but you know, she did however spend I think about 10 out of the 30 minutes in these attics, and I think they took about 2 out of the 5 hours to make, which is embarrassing because they're so tiny. But there are so many spots inside the attic that she could have like spent a lot of time looking at, but even then it was all just a waste of her own time, which got me those extra points because she did actually end up taking longer than me. This is then me just showing where the actual button is. It is actually the top of the house on the top floor. I didn't think she would find this because the paintings are there to kind of like distract her, but you'll see kind of what happens towards the end of the video. This is her then giving up on the attic. She went back down into the flower room and decided to go straight over to the library, but first she continued to play with the rest of the buttons on the wall. Of course she had already played with them, but you know, you gotta do it again, haven't you? Anyway, this is my first trap that I actually made. It wasn't so much a trap but more of a distraction. It was a door maze under the house that literally led you nowhere. There was nothing there. It was useless. For her it was pitch black. For me, you know, it was kind of okay lit, but she was in there I think about 5 minutes, and obviously, you know, I was impressed once again with how much time she's willing to waste. Anyway, she left my door maze and I went straight back to the library, and you know, she said to me, you're actually really lucky that like I like to play with doors. That was great because I don't have all day. I think it was actually midnight at the time we were filming this and I wanted to go to bed, so I needed her to get this done. Like, I was hoping it would take like 5 minutes, but at the same time, like deep down I wasn't, because I didn't want her to finish it too early. But anyway, here is the black bedroom. It's got a clock, some cabinets, a bed, and whatever these weird like drawer things are under them, there are actually fake buttons, and she thought she found the button. And she got so excited for a second, she screamed, which I'm so mad I've got the audio file, but it is whatever. And then obviously there's one on the other side too, and she once again was like, oh, and then was disappointed. Anyway, this is, again, I think this is the second attic that we've been into. I'm pretty sure. I think this might actually be the only one that is different, because I think the other three are copied. But anyway, once again, you know, more time wasters, cobwebs, trapdoors, slabs, stairs, doors, literally everything you can think of is in this room. Any distraction. I was thinking of doing like water stuff, but I couldn't really think of where to put it, and I don't think it would fit the theme. But anyway, you know, she kind of decided that she didn't want to spend too much time on these, so she did go downstairs to the main room. I actually am obsessed with this room. I love the way I decorated everything. I went the max out on everything, and I'm so happy that I did, because I love how it all turned out. This is her kind of just, you know, flicking through the things, trying to see if I've left any clues anywhere or anything. I did actually have a few traps set up, but she didn't find any of them. But once again, this is a small little time waster of a maze, which is pitch black. And I actually couldn't see anything either, so I did decide to give myself some night vision. So there, I can actually see now, thank God. This is me just kind of staring at the room, because I want to get you guys some, you know, some good visuals, because kind of a boring, no, a good look and a boring cinematic shot. Anyway, this is her kind of flickering through all these barrels, because I told her there was something in them, which there was, but she could not find it for the life of her. She went through them 3 times, I'm pretty sure, but she finally found them at the end. She then tried to do this parkour, which I actually made impossible, which it was possible originally, but the chandelier covered it, so I had to teleport her up there. But you know, once she was up there, she didn't even bother looking at one of the things I did, so I could have just put the button there. Honestly, I could have left the button there and she would never have found it. Because look, she looks at it, turns around, and goes on her way. She doesn't even go up to that painting, she doesn't check what it does, she doesn't check anything about it. The button could have been up there, nope. Honestly, I just built all this for time wasting, let me tell you that now. She just scanned through everything and didn't even bother looking. Anyway, this is actually the light grey room, which she kind of didn't recheck since, you know, the other two were a waste of time. And she went straight up into the attic again. I think she mainly checked this out because of how full they were, which I'm not gonna lie, I would too. And she kept asking me what this hole was and I didn't know myself. So I told her just leave it alone. She then said she'd come back to the attic again at another time, but then kind of like pondered between leaving and not leaving, but then kind of came back. But then she left again like a couple seconds later, so I don't really know what that was about. This was the armory room, which was once again like one of the last minute rooms that I had, and she started actually robbing my armor stands of my armor, which I did not appreciate. She was actually meant to unlock a key to put on the door, but I kind of didn't realize that there was another way in, so it was kind of a waste of time. Anyway, this is my botanical room, if that's what you want to call it, and she found on this trap that I made, and this is just a small clip of her dying. So I teleported her back up, and she kind of then was a bit in disbelief that I would put a trap there for her, because she didn't kill me in her one, and you know, that's a bit disappointing. But I'm not going to complain, because I'm happy that she didn't troll me in hers, but I'm not going to say I didn't troll her in mine. She then obviously did not spend much more time in that room, because she wanted to get out of there as soon as possible, so she went to the last, I think, bedroom. This is the grey room, and she was in there for about 2 seconds. At this point, what's the point? Why do I even build these things? Anyway, she then went up to the last of 4 attics, I'm pretty sure. And this was just her wasting so much time. She was in these attics for I think about 15 out of the 30 minutes, I'm not even gonna lie to you. And then she came down and was kind of wondering where the hell she hadn't been. So I then had to give her a little hint that she hadn't been up to the pillagers. And the first thing she did was complain, because she was so against like these villagers, the pillagers upstairs, and it was like the room she did not want to enter, because she thought it was like a trap room that like they were only there to kill her, and she kind of like didn't want to go in, so she kind of checked everywhere else first before going in. And I told her they couldn't even harm her because they'd be behind barrier blocks, and then she went in and it was all good. The alleys and the iron golems are literally only there for decoration. They are, though, to be broke free at the end, which is for her to do once she presses the button. The button will teleport her to a chest, which has a diamond pickaxe in where she can save them. She is in adventure mode, so I had to switch her to survival when she found it, but you know. She then did another door maze, which she spent so much time on. She was like, I'm going to press every single one, so we waste as much time as possible. And I love pressing doors. Sienna, just put the fries in the bag. Just, please. Anyway, this is her. I think there's 4 levels in the door maze. It took her, you know, I think about 10-ish minutes to do it. And I was so confident she wasn't going to find the button during this time. And obviously, you know, it's right on her head now, so I just wait for her to go one more level. And, you know, she kind of flew through these mazes, which is a bit of a problem because there were quite a few dead ends. But, you know, there's the button and there she is right here. So anyway, there were actually a lot of dead ends that she did miss, and I'm so annoyed because there were so many ways she could have gone. Anyway, this is her obviously then flicking on a lot of the doors because every way could be a way out. Any way could have the button behind it. Anything could have anything anywhere. Anyway, this is me panning on the button because I knew she was getting close, and then this is her going right into it, almost walking past it, and then getting it right up there. I was hoping that she'd get to the end and then there was a drop down that she could have gone through and she would have had to restart it. Oh well, that's, you know, the end of the find the button. This is her grabbing the diamond pickaxe and running to go save those alleys and the iron golem. She did end up setting them free, and the pillagers obviously were trapped, so they couldn't do anything about it. But you know, she was actually very happy. She celebrated. She wanted to set up some fireworks after, which she did end up doing. And here the alleys doing a little bit of a dance when they got free, which was quite cute actually, I will say so myself. Obviously then the iron golem was being set free, and then we headed straight back out. This was then me and Sienna kind of giving like a little tour to the actual place. Not much of a tour, but you know, something that she could have done. And then obviously a hidden alley. No, what am I on about? And obviously then a hidden little section that she didn't even bother to check, which I could have put the button in. So then this is me just doing a little pan of my whole build. Obviously 5 hours of work has to be credited by me and only me. The world is actually, you know, got a lot of custom trees in it, which I did make, and Sienna copied over to her side so they could blend a little bit better. This is then obviously just, you know, the whole removing all the little bits that don't need to be there. This is actually both of them together, which I love. It's a good little combination versus dark and light. This is mine, and oh my god, I love it so much. Guys, I actually can't. Like, this is probably one of my, like, top builds that I've done. Like, I've done quite a few good ones, but, you know, I love this one. It's just everything it needs to give. All the trees are not... So, the back is... No. So, skip. So, this is, like, a last slow pan of the build. And, you know, it's just... Oh, guys, I love it so much. I hope you guys do, too. Anyway, that does actually conclude this whole video, and I hope you guys did enjoy. I am sorry there is no audio for Sienna or me during this time, but I'm so happy that it's done, and I love this type of content. So if you guys would like another one with audio, please tell me, because we will happily create another custom map. Or if you would like something more like a dropper, if you would like more custom button maps that I torture Sienna with, then please tell me in the comments. Also, we have a few ideas for new series in the future. Would you guys like modded series, droppers, find the button, or just kind of like more of survival worlds? Because Crown-Craft is survival, and we want to test a few different things out, so whatever works for you guys, please let us know. And if you did enjoy, obviously don't forget to like, maybe even subscribe, or just drop a comment so I know you did enjoy. Anyway, that does actually conclude my video, and I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching.